Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And not sure when I'll upload this. Again, I'm kind of mixing and matching videos I'm doing right now. But another what's in the box. Showing my DVD and Blu-ray update as I go through each of these boxes and try to remember what's in each one. Let's get right to it. First off, I'll show this. People who they might not know about me, I'm a fan of the old school comedies. Never got much into the Marx Brothers. Laurel and Hardy I remember liking, but I don't really have any of their stuff. But I love the Three Stooges. They're around here somewhere. I have most of their collections. I really love Red Skelton. And I really enjoyed Abbott and Costello. And this is the Abbott and Costello set of Universal. Now, you see right here, they call it the Universal Pictures Collection. I like the way it's done. It's like a chest that they used to travel back in the day with almost as if these all stickers on there, but it's posters from their Universal movies. And it opens up like this. So I thought it was a really cool design. And as you can see, interesting setup. There's also a booklet, which is nice because they have each film that's in the set. They have a poster, some trivia, some photos from the film, and a synopsis. So I thought that was a really cool idea. And you have a 15 disc set. You go from, there's 2 movies per disc. And like for example, One Night in the Tropics, Buck Privates, In the Navy, and Hold That Ghost. Now, of course, they did do movies with other companies, but most of their memorable ones are with Universal. Like, honestly, their best ones that I remember is Buck Privates and Buck Privates Come Home, Hold That Ghost, Frankenstein, which is my favorite. This one right here. I bet just tell me Frankenstein, I think is their best one. Which that became so popular, they went to meet the killer Boris Karloff, who's not the killer in the movie. Another one of my favorites, Abbott Costello Meet the Invisible Man. The others is In the Foreign Region, Come Around the Mountain, Lost in Alaska. And it concludes, I mean, there's more, but Go to Mars, Meet Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, which Boris Karloff starred as that character, Meet the Keystone Cops, and the last film with Universal, Abbott Costello Meet the Mummy. And sad to say, that was one of their last films they did together. They broke up. Lou Costello, very talented guy, but it sounds like behind the scenes he was a very bad guy. Or at least it seems like he treated, Lou Costello treated Bud Abbott. Bud Abbott is the thinner guy. He's the more straight-faced guy. Which is funny. In the movies, he was the guy who was harsh on Costello. But it seemed like in real life, it was the other way around, which is sad. So that's the sad thing. I think by the end, they were not fans of each other. Mainly that this guy was kind of a prick, which is too bad. But they did make a good team and quite a few good movies. So there is that. Looks like in here it's a mix of Van Damme, Dolph, and Lou Diamond Phillips, at least on the top half of it. And this might not be every single one I have. That might be scattered up. I still have a long time to get everything situated, so it's a long process. Let me show this stuff in the middle first. Some Lou Diamond Phillips stuff. I have more, but these are a couple. Sorry about that, folks. Lone Hero. This is a really underrated action film. Sean Patrick Flannery is your lead. He's actually one of those guys, you know how in a small town they'll have like a Wild West show where you pretend to be the gunfighter. Well, that's happening, and these bikers come in and they're looking for trouble, and Sean Patrick finally has to rise up and be a natural hero, and gets Lieutenant Phillips. The bikers are after them. You also have Robert Forster. Underrated film. This is worth a look. Lone Hero. Little underrated gem of a movie. And some of these films I don't remember much. I'll be honest. I've seen so many movies. Renegades. This one I remember being kind of meh. A little bit disappointing. And it's from Jack Shoulder. Guy who did Elm Street 2 and Alone in the Dark from 1982. This one I remember, it not a bad movie, just a meh movie. Red Water. I remember this being fairly decent with Lieutenant Phillips. Yes, Coolio's in the movie. It just seemed, even though it's rated R, it seemed as if there's stuff held back. I think this is a made-for-cable, made-for-TV, made-for-cable movie. So I think that was his big drawback. But halfway decent film. Young Guns. Probably my favorite Western. I grew up with this film a lot when I was a kid. I love the score. I love the cast. Definitely have to pick up the Blu-ray sometime with this. I love this movie. 6 Reasons Why the West Was Wild. That's why I hate Young Guns 2 so much. Other than the soundtrack, which I like, they killed the rest of them off, and it didn't make sense because if you watch the ending of this movie, it's like, oh, someone carved a name on his tombstone called Pals. Yeah, he did it. But then he dies in Young Guns 2, so how the fuck did he do it? Did his ghost carve it? I know it doesn't make sense if you've never seen the films. If you do, explain that to me. Route 666, which I reviewed on the channel, I think this is a pretty decent flick. I quite enjoyed this movie. I love Lieutenant Phillips, Lori Petty, and Stephen Williams. They all did a good job. You also had Dale Midkiff from Pet Sematary. Not that bad of a film. I quite enjoyed it. Striking Range with Lieutenant Phillips and Nancy Butler. This film actually had, I think it's one of the last films Jeff Speakman was in. And he plays the villain, but he's in it for like 5 minutes and he dies in a nothing way. Not even from Lieutenant Phillips' character. Like it was a real waste of Jeff Speakman. He's not even on the cover, front or back, so it showed how little of a fuck they gave about him by the end of it, which is too bad. Again, his name's not even on top. Well, okay, he's right there. Jeff Speakman. But again, he's not even on the back. Yeah. This is one I don't remember much about. Murder in the Presidio. Lieutenant Phillips. Jason Priestley. I think this is a film that's trying to be like The General's Daughter, only not as good. But it was for television. I forget what channel it was. Yeah, it's a film I have to rewatch. Another film I have to rewatch. Malevolent. Pretty much, Lieutenant Phillips is a cop. There's a shooting. He's under investigation. He's set up by the killer. He has to protect this exotic dancer played by Terry Wooer. Directed by John Terlesky, which I think he was an actor. He was one of the actors in Chopping Mall. And I think he was in like Death Stalker 2 or something as an actor. I can't remember. No, again, a lot of these films I have to give a rewatch. Hangman. Funny enough, there was like an Al Pacino film that kind of tried to do the same thing as this. And that film came out like a few years ago. And I remember this being better, sad to say. But I think I remember this being at least a time waster. But I'm a big Lieutenant Phillips fan. Epsilon. Kind of a not that good sci-fi movie. I mean, the covers really try to be The Matrix. people infected with this virus, and like, you know, there's a cure, but the bad guys don't want the cure to be out there because they'll make more money. Stupid. And Christopher Lambert has to save the day. Whatever. Kind of like one of those whatever movies. Whatever. Again, I have the first power somewhere. I can't remember where. Now showing some Dolph Lundgren films. Again, they're not all going to be here. They're all mixed around. Because I fucked up. I did a Dolph Lundgren marathon where I reviewed all of his films, so there's really no point in me giving too much thoughts on these. Because, again, if you want, go to my channel and check out my reviews of Dolph's movies. I reviewed pretty much all of them. I definitely reviewed all of these, but One in the Chamber, which was lame. The Killing Machine, didn't mind it. Men of War, one of his best. I actually have the Blu-ray of this over there. Very generous gift. The Peacekeeper, I don't give a fuck about the other movie, but The Peacekeeper, decent flick. Pretty decent Die Hard type of movie. Has a really good action scene on a rooftop. Command Performance, love this movie. Definitely one of the best he's directed. Dying is easy. Rock and roll is hard. A lot of fun. Massive Universe, Dolph's not the problem. Just the story, the script is the problem. Punisher, this is the DVD overseas. I do have the Blu-ray over there. But this is a great gift. This is Spielberg. I love the look of this. Love this movie. Battle of the Damned. Fun film. Dolph fights zombies. A lot better than the other one, Dead Trigger. The Defender. Fun film. Bridge of Dragons. Entertaining flick. Silent Trigger. Nice stylish direction by Russell Mulcahy, the director of Highlander. Detention, Die Hard in a School type of movie, but lame flick, sad to say. Red Scorpion, love this one. Wonderful Blu-ray by Cinemax, but apparently this did not do well, which is why they didn't do much films like this with their company, which sucks. They did a great job. It was a good movie. Missionary Man stepped down for Dolph in his direction. Poor directing and really awful cinematography. Stindrade, highly enjoy this film. I think it's a bit underrated. One of his more underrated films, in my opinion, Sweepers. Love the concept, the action set pieces. It's not perfect, but definitely does not deserve the low rating that it has in IMDb. I find that bullshit. Showdown Low Tokyo, one of my favorites. Love this film to death. Army of One, this is the one with the better ending, unlike the Blu-ray, which has a shortened ending. This is the preferred one. On the Artisan Entertainment, which this is, I guess this is rated R, but I think it's the longer, uncut, more violent version. Even though it says rated R, I believe that is the case on that. Triple feature, my favorite of these is Direct Action, and Retrograde is, to me, Dolph's, I would say, his worst movie. package, decent film. More Stone Cold Steve Austin's film, Dolph's the villain. Decent time waster. Agent Red, one of Dolph's worst. Diamond Dogs, pretty lame and boring of a movie. And The Name of King 2, it's Uwe Boll. What do you expect? Yeah, horrible film. Riot, decent time waster, but Dolph is not the star of the movie. He's in it sporadically. But as a time waster, I've seen much worse. Sad to say, I'd rather watch that than Steep Plan 2 or 1. Sad to say. Russian Specialist, good revenge film, directed by Dolph. And starring him. Stormcatcher, I had fun with this flick. I thought Anthony Hitchcock's director of Waxwork 1 and 2. Dolph played a fun character in that movie. Dominion, wish could have been better, should have been more violent. I think the action scenes could have been handled a lot better. Icon in Peace, also known as Dark Angel. I have the Blu-ray over here, but my favorite Dolph movie and one of my favorite movies. That was a wonderful gift that I got. Really appreciate that. Don't Kill It. It's all right. Hidden Agenda, forgettable as fuck. But yeah, I know I have more, like a Hidden Assassin and some of these others. They're around here somewhere. This is a Blu-ray someone that sent me Masters of the Universe. Blackjack, this was a pilot directed by John Woo for a potential TV show, but did not get picked up. Probably because you have the hero afraid of the color white. Ah, there we go. It was actually over here. Blu-ray of The Punisher, one of my favorite Dolph films, and my favorite Punisher movie. Love this film. And my favorite Dolph Lundgren film. I do wish this had more features. Should have been much more stacked with features, in my opinion. I actually want to do a commentary of that sometime, maybe in a live stream. Because it richly deserves as much love as possible. Let's put it over there so it doesn't fall. Oh, another Lou Diamond Phillips film, Bats. Oh, or Stab. Is that called Stab? No, it's Bats. I actually enjoy this creature feature film. I don't know what the bad word of mouth is for. The effects were fine. They had some nice practical effects by KMB. Fast-paced. Lou Diamond Phillips as the sheriff. Did that get boring? I think if you like creature features, it's a movie about killer bats. I thought it did a good job for what it was supposed to do. Just be a fun time at the movies. At least in my opinion. So what do I know? Then some Van Damme movies. Again, I did well, not again, but I'm not going to go too much into these because I did a JeanClaude Van Damme marathon where I reviewed all of his films. So I've already reviewed all these movies on the channel. So if you're interested, feel free to look it up on the channel. Until Death, good flick. Replicant, another good flick. Nice to see Van Damme play a serial killer. It was interesting. In Hell, very nice acting performance. Rest in peace, Ringo Lam, who did this in Replicant. Rest in peace, Ringo Lam. Pretty good director. Assassination Games, this is awful with a piss yellow filter for some reason and lame action scenes. Van Damme was a zombie in this movie and his action scenes he could barely pull off. So it was really sad. JZVD is kind of sad because I'm like, oh, this is the comeback. And he made a couple good films in the past 10 years, but you know, based on this, I thought it would be a much bigger splash, but this is still a really, really Nice movie. If you're a Van Damme fan, check it out. Six Bullets, one of the more decent Van Damme films in the past 10 years. Six Bullets is a good one. And some I have in these, like Derailed, one of Van Damme's worst. The Shepherd Border Patrol, fun, entertaining action flick by the director of Undisputed 2 and 3. And Ninja 2 Shadow of a Tear, Isaac Florentine. He did this film. Did a good job. Legionnaire, could not get into this movie. Just wasn't for me. Desert Heat, I hate this film. I know this has a fan base. I don't understand why. I don't get why people like the film. Teach their own. I thought this movie sucked ass. It barely had any action. The most memorable scene is like Van Damme fucking two girls. And I swear like an old woman was watching. She was getting turned on. No, he was fucking one girl. Like an old woman was watching. Fuck that movie, man. Oh, these are DVDRs. No Retreat, No Surrender, which I'm not a fan of. I prefer the sequel. Never saw the third one. Enemies Closer, not that bad of a film. I would have picked different actors to be the leads, but I thought Van Damme did a good job as the villain. Welcome to the Jungle. I got this because the movie sucks, but Van Damme's part, when he pops up, he's pretty damn funny. And that wasn't even a pun intended, but he's really funny. It's just he's not in the film too much, and the rest of the people suck. But Van Damme, just fast forward to his scenes, it's pretty fun. Maximum Risk, another Ringo Lamb vehicle. I enjoy this one. I think it's underrated. The Order, one of Van Damme's best directed-video films. And Nowhere to Run, nice dramatic change for Van Damme with some decent action bits. And The Order I have on DVD because I'm a fan of the movie. Wish I had this film on Blu-ray, but it's very hard to find this on Blu-ray. It's really expensive. Universal Soldier: The Return. This is definitely one I want to get on Blu-ray sometime, but again, maybe overseas. This, I love this film. I don't understand the hate for this. I think it's criminally underrated. It's a fast-paced action, knock'em sock'em. Van Damme acts like a human being with emotions. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's got good fight sequences, explosions, rocking soundtrack. This is a fun Saturday night movie. I don't understand the hate for it. I really do not. I don't get it. Double Team, batshit crazy, but still a fun flick. Double Team. Speaking of batshit insane, Knockoff. Both these movies were directed by Choi Hark. They're flawed, but I kind of enjoyed for the insanity of these movies. I know this sounds stupid. Sometimes it makes you think like Van Damme was trying to be Jackie Chan in this film. I don't know why, but with some of the action, it's like, are you trying to be Jackie Chan with the action? I don't know. I know it's stupid, but that's my first thought. Second Command, meh, middle of the road, mediocre. Wake of Death, one of his best direct-to-video flicks. Great job. I have this on Blu-ray and DVD. Universal Soldier. Classic. I love this film. One of my favorite Van Damme and Dolph movies. Love this film. I do not love this film. Street Fighter. I played the video game Street Fighter 2 a lot. I was a big Van Damme fan. I saw this. It pissed me off. I don't like the word cheesy, but this is cheesy. That's cheesy. Sudden Death on DVD. I believe someone had sent me the Blu-ray, which was cool. I enjoy the film. The big problem I have with the flick, though, why it would not be in my top 10 Van Damme films. The very, very obvious fight doubles. Almost every fight scene, there's an obvious fight double that I'm like, that's not Van Damme, because I just see the guy's face. And that really takes me out of the movie. I'm guessing this is when he was coked up, so they probably had to fuck around with the schedule, and which is too bad, because I understand dangerous stunts having a double, but fight scenes you have a double? If you don't believe me, watch the film again, especially on Blu-ray. But even on DVD, I'd noticed it. Got these for the reviews to review them, and these are pieces of dog shit. Fuck these movies. Fuck this movie too. Bloodsport and Time Cop. I do have Time Cop by itself. It's over there. I don't know why these films are not on Blu-ray by themselves in the U.S. They deserve it. They're two of Van Damme's best movies. Kickboxer, love this film. Wonderful fight at the end. Love the musical score. Cyborg, my second favorite. My first is Hard Target. This is my second favorite Van Damme movie. I don't have the Speed and Fat one because the features don't seem interesting. And this 3-pack, which, well, now I have Death Warrant. I mean, now I have Double Impact. So I keep this for Death Warrant, which I love, on Blu-ray. Lionheart, granted, when this first released, the audio was fucked up, but they did fix it, so good release with features. I mean, if they did Lionheart and Double Impact, who knows? Maybe they'll do more Van Damme movies. Who knows? Oh, here's a couple. Oh, here's the Dolph films I was looking for. Hidden Assassin. Lame flick. Jill the Ripper. Fucking sucked. Joshua Tree. This is also known as Army of One. Keep this for the features. It's not much, but it's a little bit of something. But the better version of the movie is the DVD Artisan Entertainment Army of One. Has the better ending. Okay. In the middle, some random TV shows and random stuff. Actually, before that, these slipped through the cracks. The Hardcore. One of Van Damme's worst films, to be honest. Sad to say. And actually, here's the Time Cop I was talking about. Wonderful Gift. This is an overseas Blu-ray, but worked beautifully on. You have a region-free Blu-ray player, but why is this only released by itself in the UK or Germany or wherever? Why not in the US? This was a box office hit. It was Van Damme's biggest hit. It's one of his best films. It deserves a shitload of features. What the fuck? But I love this film. What the fuck? The Bouncer, this was a very nice gift, but sadly the film was disappointing. I didn't hate the film outright. It's just, it should have and could have been a lot better. Even Van Damme wasn't that great in this. Sad to say. Now, some TV shows. Sadly, I don't have many of these. So, the first season of MacGyver, which I remember enjoying. I don't give a fuck about the new one. And the 7th season. So I don't have the rest. Maybe one day. I think this is, yeah, final season. If you could tell sort of the difference, like season 1, season 7. But, I do remember enjoying the show. Richard Dean. I never saw Stargate SG-1 much, which I know he's in, but definitely liked MacGyver. Now we get to my favorite TV show. Sadly, they fucked it up in the last couple years, but at least the first 9 seasons I do like. The X-Files. These are my DVDs. I believe they're on Blu-ray, but I just don't have the money to pick it up. A friend of mine sent me the first season on Blu-ray, and they look great. I like to get the others on Blu-ray, but it's just a bit expensive for me right now, so I'll stick with the DVDs. But yeah, X-Files Season 1. Let's see, favorites of this season would be Ice, which is a takeoff the Thing. John covers the Thing. Fire, about a guy who starts things on fire. Darkness Falls, which was the very first episode of the X-Files I saw. My aunt would tape stuff for me, because we didn't have cable at the time, and she would tape like The Simpsons and other stuff, Doug, cartoons, and she would send us VHS tapes. So then, one time she sent the X-Files. I'm like, what's this? And I saw Darkness Falls. That's the one with these bugs that come out at night and fuck your day up. Loved it. That made me fall in love with the show. So, Tombs, which was a sequel to Squeeze, where a guy can squeeze himself into tight places to sneak into your home and take your liver. Strong first season. Season 2. Let's see, on this one, The Host. Great creature in The Host. I like a lot of these episodes, but I'm just naming like my favorite ones. Let's see. Fearful Symmetry, where it's like a zoo and maybe aliens are taking animals and put them in other places, and there's a little thing going on I'm not going to get into. Fresh Bones, which dealt with, I believe, voodoo. Die Hand Die Verlitz. I remember that took place in a school. Irresistible was pretty creepy. It was a guy who he would collect fingernails and hair from dead bodies. So, season 2. Let's see, season 3. No, that's not 3. Here's 3. See, favorites of this, DPO, which starred Giovanni Ribisi and Jack Black. It was a guy who could control the lightning. I think that was the first time I heard the song Hey Man, Nice Shot. The List, which took place in a prison, and this killer's been electrocuted. He's taking revenge. The Walk, that was one where a guy who had no arms and no legs, he was using astral projection to take revenge or his anger out. War of the Coffrages, that was a funny episode that dealt with cockroaches. SISD, that was an interesting one where it's about these two girls. I forget if they were friends or sisters, but anytime they were together, like their power would kind of create this, like it would make people angry and their moods and just chaos would happen. Pusher was an interesting one where he could push people to follow his will and do what he wants. There was, I remember, a tense scene where he was trying to push Mulder to kill Scully and shoot her. Jose Chums from Outer Space is a funny one. Clive Brutman's Final Repose. Remember, they had a really good performance by Peter Boyle. Also, in the previous one, Beyond the Sea, they had a really good role with Brad Dourif. 4, 5, 6. These thinner ones, I remember they don't have the features, but they were, at the time they were the only ones I could find, so that's why they look different. Like the thicker ones had features, but these thinner ones don't. But here's season 4. Yeah, I'd like to get these on Blu-ray, but I have to save up money for that. What was my favorites of these? Home, which was a takeoff Chainsaw Massacre. I thought that was definitely one of the best, creepiest uh, X-File episodes. Sanguinarium was creepy because there was a doctor, like a plastic surgeon, in a hospital. And there was some uneasy gore where they like kept sucking the fat and then blood was sucked out. Like, wow, they got away with this on TV? Leonard Betts. I remember that had the guy from, I think it was Paul McCrane, the guy in RoboCop that melted, got hit by the van. I think he was in that. It's been a while since I've seen these. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen these, so. Season 5. You had... I think it was around the time that the first movie was coming out, because the first movie came out in 98, and this was 97 to 98. This one, Detour, was a fun one, because there was a creature feature out in the woods, and this creature would like blend itself into the environment. Bad Blood, that was a fun take on a vampire story, and Luke Wilson, I remember, was in that. Folie à Deux, that was interesting. I might be mixing it up with something else now, damn it. God, shows how long I've seen this show, damn. I want to rewatch it, but I want to pick up the Blu-ray first and see the HD. Season 6. Drive, that actually has Bryan Cranston in it, and that was interesting because the guy told Mulder not only drive fast, but drive in a certain direction. It was Bryan Cranston, I believe, talking with Mulder. Dreamland 1 and 2, that was an interesting body switch episode where Mulder got switched with Michael McKean. Some fun comedy was in that. I think Terms of Endearment, that's the one with Bruce Campbell. I believe that's it. Monday, that's one of the better ones. It's like Groundhog Day, but it was this bank, this bomb, Mulder and Scully are in it. It gets blown up, but the woman who's a girlfriend of the robber, she remembers everything, and it relives it every day, trying to stop it. The Unnatural, David Duchovny directed that. It had a good heartfelt story about a guy becoming friends with an African American in the 40s who also happened to be an alien and a baseball player. That had a good heart to it. Field Trip was the one I was thinking of. That was the one I was thinking of where you find out a lot of it's been a hallucination because Mulder and Scully like trapped underground and this stuff is feeding off them and giving them these hallucinations. I thought that was an interesting episode. 6. Oh, Forgot about this. The Quest with Van Damme. So that's a random one, but that slipped through. Season 7. Back to the thick. I think it seems like for most people this is when people lost interest in the show, but I was still with it. But the thing with the show, the mythology, by the time I got to like season 5 or 6, I just gave up on the mythology because you can only tease someone so long before you're like, come on, man, fuck you. So mainly I watch it for the characters, the two leads, and the standalone episodes. But this one, Hungry, that was a good episode because it was from the point of view of this killer who was a monster who had this consumption to eat, and he worked at a fast food restaurant. Millennium, that was a crossover with the TV show Millennium that had Lance Henriksen. Ex-Cops, that was a very entertaining one because it's like Mulder and Scully on an episode of Cops. I had a lot of fun with that. First-person shooter, that's when they're in a video game. Thief, I think that was with Billy Drago, I believe, which is sad to say he's passed away. And Brand X, I believe that's with Jigsaw himself. Can't believe I forgot his name, but the guy who played, Jigsaw in the Saw movie, I can't believe I forgot his damn name. But he was in that. Yeah, it's season 7 of the X-Files. Season 8, where Dave Duchovny kind of didn't want to do the show anymore, so he was in like just a couple episodes and he disappeared. But you had Robert Patrick. I really liked Robert Patrick. I really liked his character. That's why this season didn't bother me that much, because they didn't kill Mulder off. And Robert Patrick was a badass. I have a friend of mine who liked him more than Mulder, and it's like, I like Mulder more because I grew up with more of the show. But I can see why as a new person, because Robert Patrick's character was badass. I think it was Medusa. It was an episode on the subway platform in the tunnels, and Robert Patrick goes down along with these other people, and Scully's up, talking in his ear. I remember that being like my favorite of this season. But yeah, I do remember Robert Patrick being pretty badass in this. Which I don't know why he wasn't in the new seasons, those piece of shits. Season 9, which was the final, to me it is the final one. Mulder comes back, Robert Patrick is there. I know one of these has Burt Reynolds in it. One of these, interesting idea where a guy is like really obsessed with the Brady Bunch. And I'm sure there's a better way to explain it. I should remember this being decent, and if it did become just Robert Patrick and I believe Annabeth Gish, I would have continued to watch it, but let Mulder and Scully go off into the sunset. But no, that first revival I have around here somewhere because someone sent me as a gift, I probably fucking threw it, and then it just popped somewhere else. But I hate the revival. I hate what they did. The last 5 years, they happened, but they didn't really happen because that's not how the mythology was. There are no aliens. Mulder doesn't believe in aliens. He saw a fucking spaceship in the first movie. In the first movie, 1998, he saw a fucking alien spaceship. He was inside an alien spaceship with aliens coming out. And now you don't tell me that Mulder don't believe in aliens? And you already did this shit in like season 4 or 5 of the show. Chris Farter, you fucking hack. I didn't even bother with the latest last season, where you found out that the ending of the previous season was all a fucking like vision, so it didn't really happen. Not the season, but that last episode of that previous season. Oh, it was in Scully's mind. Chris Carr, you're a fucking piece of shit. See, you fucking pissed off, hitting shit. Fuck you, Chris Carr. This was a gift someone sent me, which is very nice. It is Event Horizon, and it's a very interesting package. It actually pops off the top like this. Really cool collectors. It's got a booklet. I believe this was a UK thing. There's a booklet. And this is how the DVD is in. That's the... It's a 2-disc. Yeah, one's the movie, and the other is special features. I'll be honest, I forgot what the special features were, but there you go. I really enjoy this film. This is a film that did not deserve to bomb like it did. Really good movie. Oh, it has the features on the back here. I think it's the features from the other DVDs. I mean, Point of No Return featurette, the unfilmed rescue scene, storyboard montage, 5-part documentary, counter with the director and producer. So, yeah. From what I understand, the full uncut version will never be done because it's long gone. Next up is The Invisible Man. Now, this is a show I really enjoyed. It was on the Sci-Fi Channel when Sci-Fi Channel was good and spelled it right. It was S-C-I-F-I, not bullshit they have today. I believe this went on for 2 or 3 seasons, but all I could find was the first season. I don't know if the first season was the only one that was released, but this was an enjoyable take on the Invisible Man story. This guy was very fun. He was a thief that I believe he was arrested and then taking part in this experiment. Like, here, you don't be our guinea pig. And the thing is, he could turn invisible, but there's a side effect called the Quicksilver Madness, so he can't do it all the time. Which, you know, that was an interesting idea, because why wouldn't you be invisible all the time? But you had to put some limit onto it. I thought that was an interesting idea. But it was mainly the cast worked very well together. The Invisible Man. Sad it didn't last that long. I think this is the only one of these I have. These 50 movie packs. I actually like to get more of these. I know they're shitty quality, but just be fun. Because, I mean, they're cheap and you get 50 movies, but they're shitty quality. But, I mean, like in this pack, and you can tell they don't care, just look how they put it in. These paper, these cheap-ass paper, and then they're just stacked on top of each other. But, I mean, look at the stuff you have in this. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Not sure if I'm going to read all of them. I might as well. 984, Prisoner of the Future. I've seen some of these, but most of these I don't fucking remember. Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe. That's an awful movie with Jesse Ventura. Horrible fucking film. The Alien Factor from 1978. Alien Prey. Assassin from 1986. The Bat with Vincent Price. Battle Beyond the Sun. Brain Twisters, but they misspelled it. You can see, it's Brian Twisters on here. Probably can't see it, but okay, let's focus. But anyway, it's supposed to be Brain Twisters, but it says Brian Twisters if it focused. The Brother from Another Planet with Joe Morton. The Crater Lake Monster. The Creeping Terror, The Daytime Ended, Death Machines, which I remember being fucking boring. Escape from Galaxy 3, The Eyes Behind the Stars, Evil Brain from Outer Space, Extraterrestrial Visitors, Fugitive Alien, and they spelled fugitive wrong. And you probably can't see it, but Fugtive. Fugtive Alien? Is that what it? Yeah, you can't see it, but Fugtive Alien. Then it's supposed to be Fugitive Alien. Future Hunters, Robert Patrick, Galaxina, Giant of Metropolis, The Gypsy Moon, Hands of Steel. So I did have Hands of Steel. Someone had sent that DVD to me. The Head from 1959. Horror High from 1974. 100. Hyper Sapien, People from Another Star. Which I remember being alright. Invaders from Space. It's Alive, but it's not the Larry Cohen film. This is one from 1968. Life Returns, The Manster, Mission Stardust, Morons from Outer Space, Night Fright, Night of the Blood Beast, Primal Impulse, Rotor. That's funny, someone's actually asking me about Rotor, because I guess James Wolfe reviewed it. Guess I do have it. Raiders of Atlantis, Robo Vampire, Rocket Attack USA, Silver Needle in the Sky, Slipstream, that's the film with Mark Hamill and Bill Paxton. You don't really care for that one. Star Knight, boring fucking film. Star Pilot, Top Line, Trapped by Television, War of the Robots, Welcome to Blood City. I remember a long time ago, I think a friend of mine tried to go through these and he gave up. I don't blame him, but... Well, you don't do it? It's 50 fucking films, man. It would take me months to just do that. Now, I have reviewed this. It's on the channel and these movies. But the Critters box set. I enjoy these 4 Critters films. The second one is my favorite. Really nice special features, although I do wish Scott Grimes was interviewed. But the first 2 especially have some really nice documentaries. And really, it's really gratifying to see that this got its just dues, because I'm a big fan of the Critters films. Other than that bullshit, the new binge, and no, I don't really care to see the other Critters thing after the new binge, new bilge, new bitch, new bullshit. So I'll stick with these. I mean, I don't know, maybe one day I'll see that for shits and giggles, but not in a rush. Oh, okay, these are the Godzilla stuff. I've reviewed the Godzilla films. I've reviewed every Godzilla film. Feel free to look on the channel. I also do have a playlist. But I have reviewed every Godzilla film on the channel. So there's this one, which has Gojira, as well as the American version, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla Raids Again, Mothra vs. Godzilla, aka Godzilla vs. The Thing, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, Godzilla's Revenge, Terra Mechagodzilla. My favorite of these would probably be Gojira, Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, and Terra Mechagodzilla of this pack. I believe someone had sent this to me as a gift, which is very nice. Godzilla, the Criterion Collection, which was very nice. Yeah, these were a gift. Sadly, from a guy who... What happened is, there was a guy who sent me all these Godzilla films. He wanted me to review them, and I did. And we had sort of a nice rapport with each other. Then we got into a fight, because he said he was going to send me a gift. Then after he sent it, he's like, oh, by the way, the requests, and there's like five or six Alfred Hitchcock films that I want you to review. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought these were gifts. I mean, I don't want to review these movies you're sending because you said it was a gift. And it's like, I'm busy and I have all this stuff going on. And when you watch 5, 6 movies and they're movies you don't really care to see, and you're busy with life. He got mad. Then later on, I reached out to him. We buried the hatchet. Then he had sent me some Godzilla, some Team Con stuff, among others. And then sadly, what happened was, he asked me what did I think about the new Rampage movie, because he really enjoyed it. At the time, I'm like, it was in theaters. I'm like, I'm not seeing this movie in theaters. I said, I don't want to see a movie where an albino gorilla gives The Rock the middle finger more than once. No thanks. That's literally what I said, beat for beat. I know because I reread it a lot. I said, I don't want to see a film where an albino gorilla gives The Rock the middle finger more than once. No thanks. It's literally what I said. And he took offense to that. Why? I have no idea. And then I said, "What? Wait a minute! Anytime I type you something, you make me sound like a bad guy." Then he said, apparently he cried after reading that, and I didn't even cuss him out. I'm like, so then it just. That's why, sometimes you just go, what the fuck? Then he's like, oh, now I know why people, don't like you, and go on this tirade. I'm like, buddy, all I said was I don't want to watch a fucking movie where an albino gorilla gives The Rock the middle finger more than once. I even said no thanks. Didn't say fuck you, or suck my dick, or go eat shit, or go sit on a dildo. I said no thanks. Jesus Christ. Later on, I saw it when I went to fucking DVD. Yeah, I was able to see it for free in HD quality. I wasn't much a fan of it. And that did happen. Fucking gorilla gave The Rock middle finger. It was a running joke. And he cried. So, I'm glad to have these, but it's like, it just sucks. But I do like the original Gojira. Had to tell that story. Believe me, there's like 50 stories I could tell of the stuff I've been through since I've been on YouTube. The 1998 Godzilla, which I love. I still love this movie. Saw it in the theater. Still enjoy it to this day. The big mistake this did was calling itself Godzilla. It should have been called something else, but I still enjoy the film. My favorite Godzilla film, GMK. Godzilla is like a deadeye, and he's a badass, evil motherfucker in this movie. Which is why I liked it so much. Like, this Godzilla fucking badass. This is the very first Godzilla film I saw when I was a kid with Jet Jaguar. I enjoy this film. It's considered the worst, but I enjoy it. Maybe for nostalgia, but I think it's fun. Godzilla versus King Kong. Which I'm like, yeah. I'm curious about the new one, but the director doesn't inspire any fucking... I don't like the director they have for that. Should have gotten the guy who did Kong Skull Island. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Which I wasn't as big of a fan of this as most are. Destroy All Monsters. Love the cover. Really, really cool cover. Wait a minute. Why is Godzilla not on this cover? I just noticed that. Godzilla's not on this cover. Do you see Godzilla on this cover? I see Tarantula, Ghidorah. Wait a minute. I don't even see Mothra Rodan on it either. That might be Rodan in the background. What the fuck? Where's Godzilla and Mothra? Am I blind? If the film didn't do well, maybe that's why you didn't have Godzilla on the fucking cover. I just noticed that. Unless I'm blind. Godzilla vs. Sea Monster, which I enjoy. I mean, there's a moment where it's like Highlander. He gets the quickening. I swear there's a moment where Godzilla gets the quickening in this movie. But I do remember enjoying this film. Son of Godzilla, this is one I remember seeing when I was a kid on VHS. I remember liking this. Actually, I'm going to put it over here to rewatch it. This is a really good one versus the Smog Monster because it's trippy and it's weird and it's quirky and original. I loved it. There's certain shots like when someone's go on a roller coaster and as it reaches the peak, you see like a snapshot of Godzilla in the distance. I remember that being really creepy and memorable. And Godzilla's the good guy in this, but this director tried with this movie, and sad to say he got fucked over. Godzilla versus the Gigan. I think I remember this having a lot of, seems like a lot of stock footage. At least that's what it seemed like. Like, I thought it seemed like a lot of stock footage in this. Put a couple aside to rewatch later. Godzilla 1985, aka The Return of Godzilla, which, it's there. Biollante, like the design of the creature. Really cool design of that monster. These ones I weren't really big fans of. Like you had Megaguirus. Other than GMK, like this era of Godzilla I wasn't really a big fan of. Like King Ghidorah and Mothra Battle for Earth. Destroya. Most of these I can't remember shit about them. Space Godzilla. Oh, this is the American Destroya. Put this in here just to remind me of something later. Again, I have reviewed all these films. If you're interested, feel free to check them out. Godzilla 2000. Versus Mechagodzilla 2, which I do remember enjoying this quite a bit. Being one of the better ones of the newer stuff. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Yes, Mechagodzilla thinks he's in Street Fighter. Tokyo SOS. Don't quiz me on these because I don't fucking know. Can't remember. Godzilla Final Wars. I remember having some batshit fun with this. Sad to say I probably like this more than the new Godzilla. Someone sent this to me. And you know what I think of this? That's what I think of it. This movie's a piece of shit. It's the fucking worst Godzilla film I've seen. Ooh, the Japanese politics. Good. I don't live in fucking Japan. I don't give a fuck about their politics. Doesn't affect me. Rodan, I did enjoy. War of the Gargantuas, not so much. But Rodan, I actually enjoyed that. And some King Kong stuff, like the 1976 remake, which I did review this. I remember not minding it. King Kong Lives, I had some stupid fun with this. I think the other King Kongs are somewhere else. I know I have more, but I think they got, they got put somewhere else. So now it's random stuff like John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns. I know he did another one called Pro-Life. I don't know if I have that one though. The unnameable Blu-ray. Nice to see this finally got a Blu-ray, but sadly it does have issues. I remember the movie being bluer, and it was cool. The interviews are lengthy, but I hate that the interviews were done with Skype, which I don't understand. Also, I remember like there's an audio glitch that there's like an echo. Yeah, the audio track. One of them you hear an echo, but yet so you have to literally go to like the 2.0. Yeah, the 5.1 surround sound, there's an echo, so you literally have to go to 2.0. I don't think they ever sent out a replacement disc either, so I will never buy from Unearthed Films again. This release deserved a lot better. I mean, there's some good stuff to this, but Unearthed Films, yeah, they fucked up. Let's see. This is, my friend had sent me this, and I have the others. I think the others are down below, but this is season 3 of Sliders. I have the first 2. My friend Michael CP sent these to me. Which, that's probably the last alright season of Sliders. Eaten Alive, Tobe Hooper film. Which is there. Rest in peace, Tobe Hooper. Crossing Over, film wanted to give a shot to Harrison Ford, Ray Liotta, Wayne Kramer, who I believe did Running Scared with Paul Walker, which I enjoyed. I believe that was the same guy. I could be wrong. But this film, I remember it being quite forgettable, sad to say. What Women Want, I know there was a remake of this called What Men Want, but no one wanted it because no one saw the fucking movie, apparently. Could be wrong, maybe people did, but I don't remember anyone talking about it. But I remember not minding this film. Shaft. I'd be curious to give this another look since the new Shaft came out, which I don't know what people's thoughts were on it. Never saw the Richard Roundtree original 3. But this one I remember always being okay, but should have been better. But I don't remember it being bad either. Rest in peace, John Singleton. I forgot he directed this. I remember Sam Jackson being really good. I mean, you do have a cast with Christian Bale as your villain, Jeffrey Wright, Vanessa Williams, Busta Rhymes, Dan Hedaya, Richard Roundtree, just returns to play his character. Isaac Hayes doing some of the music. Yeah, Christian Bale's the villain in this. So, I think it came out 2000. Again, I know I have more of these. They're more down below. But to see one of them, the 5th season of Reno 911. I do have more of these, but you'll see later. But this is the 5th season. I do really enjoy the show. They jumped the shark when, in one of the seasons, 6 or 7, they like killed off some of their characters, which was a dumb decision, and just killed the show. Amityville 2, The Possession. I think this and the first one are the only ones I have. The first one I have somewhere around here. I used to have the remake, but I don't think I have that anymore. So I think this, the only 3 I've seen is the remake and the first 2. And the only ones I have, I believe, is the first 2, including this. I think this was a gift from someone. Private Resort, it was interesting to see Johnny Depp in this kind of goofy comedy, playing off against Rob Lowe from Northern Exposure. So it's fun to see for that. Pedro Elizondo is the villain. So it was interesting to see for that. This 4-pack I got, I think mainly because Tobe Hooper Mortuary, which is an awful film. I ranted on that because I reviewed a couple Tobe Hooper films when he passed away. We'll go with these, my DC animated films. Well, there's some Marvel as well. Superman Doomsday, which I know there's another Superman Doomsday and then Reign of Superman, but I haven't seen those. But this is the first anime film they did. With Adam Baldwin, Anne Hayes, James Marsters as the voices. This does have a really good documentary on the comic book, which I thought was better than the movie itself. Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Deluxe Edition, probably the best DC animated film. Peter Weller's the voice of Batman. The score is amazing in this. The score is fantastic. This combines both parts together. Definitely the best DC animated film. And then this is, I do have Spider-Man, the animated series on Blu-ray with Sony Gaming, which I showed here. I showed this before. But these are the other ones. I think this is what I originally had, DVD-Rs. And this was actually sent to me, which was really cool. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends from Overseas. 4-disc set, which was really cool, because this is the complete set. And you see you got like Thor in there, and Green Goblin. That was really cool. Then this is the 1981 cartoon, which I don't remember anything about this, and I have it. This is the cartoon with Neil Patrick Harris, which I remember liking and wish it would last longer. The 67 collection, which I remember liking it, but I remember like it kind of got redundant after a while. And then this was the sort of the sequel to the 90s Spider-Man, and they tried to do something new, but it only lasted like one season and ended on a cliffhanger, so probably the worst of these. The 1981 Spider-Man, I'm actually curious to watch again. Leave that out. Yeah, that's the one I don't remember anything about. I wonder if that was the one that Chuck Norris was watching in Missing in Action. Next up, this is one that someone had sent me. Batman the Brave and the Bold, Season 1. Two and 3. And you know what? At first I'm like, I don't know, this is really kind of goofy, but it grew on me. And it has like, when it got to the 3rd season and it ended, it has probably one of the sweetest endings I've ever seen to a cartoon. Because it broke the 4th wall, and it thanked the viewers for watching, and the way it was done, it was really interesting, and gave me a lot more respect for the show. And they definitely feature a lot of stuff from the like Green Arrow, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Plastic Man, The Atom, Martian Manhunter, Firestorm, Guy Gardner, Black Adam, Darkseid, Equinox, Superman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Pretty cool. Sorry, I'm just looking real quick on the Batman the Brave and the Bold. Green Lantern First Flight, which had Christopher Maloney actually as the voice of Green Lantern, which was interesting. Also Michael Madsen, John Larroquette, Kurtwood Smith, Larry Drake. Remember this being a decent one. Justice League, The New Frontier, another one I enjoyed. I believe I reviewed this. David Boreanaz, Miguel Ferrer, Neil Patrick Harris, John Hurd, Lucy Lawless, Kyle MacLachlan, Phil Morris, Jeremy Sisto, Brooke Shields, Kira Sedgwick. A lot of recognizable voices in this. The New Frontier. Oh, haven't seen these in a while, man. I remember this being a really good one too, Flashpoint Paradox. Especially when you had like things change and you have the Batman's father being Batman and not the son of Batman, because things change. I think the son gets killed instead of the father and mother. So it was an interesting take on the story. We see him right there. Green Lantern Emerald Knights, which I remember this being sort of an anthology story. Yeah, a bunch of like little stories about Green Lantern. Yeah, Nathan Fillion stars as the voice of Green Lantern. I swear, I think one of these he had Roddy Piper as a voice. I believe so. Could be wrong, but I thought that was the case. I remember enjoying that one too. Wonder Woman, which I'll say I like this more than the live-action film. Man, I wasn't a huge fan of this, but, you know. Superman, Brainiac Attacks. To be honest, I don't remember much about this. Batman Under the Red Hood. This is a really good story. Yeah, good story told. And this is the Adam West Batman, which I didn't grow up with the show. I haven't seen really anything of the show. So, didn't grow up with it and still haven't seen much of it. So can't give you much of an opinion on it. The movie I barely remember. Firebirds, I watched this again. Wasn't really a fan. Iron Eagle and Top Gun are definitely better than this. I think because like Tommy Lee Jones I like, Nick Cage and the romance between him and Sean Young, there was like no chemistry. Some decent helicopter action, but I mean, could watch Blue Thunder for that. It was a much better helicopter movie. Next to Kin, pretty decent flick. Patrick Swayze, Liam Neeson, Bill Paxton has a small role in this. Helen Hunt. No. I don't know why the fuck I thought this was Suburban Commando. I saw Hulk Hogan, and because that's the only really Hulk Hogan film I like. This is a film I remember seeing when I was a kid, and so I own it for nostalgia reasons. I won't call it a good movie, though. Although there's one song I remember this stuck in my head, like, it was like, oh, I have to go to school. Why do I have to go to school? I remember like this, it's Suburban Commando. Yeah, they were released by New Line Cinema. I remember seeing trailers to upcoming movies. I think because as a kid I was Hulk Hogan fan, so I would see his movies, but I do like Superman Commando, but these not so much. Some Patrick Swayze films, which were there. Yeah. Letters from a Killer. This was one that was sent to me. Green Dragon. And this one I got, but I wasn't really a fan of. Icon. Way too long. It's 173 minutes long. Got really boring. Identity Thief. I think I heard good things about this, and I saw it. It's like, it was there. One of those reactions. This one I actually like to rewatch. It's not too long, but Sir Charles. No documentary at the time on Charles Barkley. It says $3, but I think it was one of those where it was like either half off or 80% off. So about Charles Barkley. Excess Baggage. The director of Demolition Man. This is the film he did after, and he didn't really do much of anything. Which I had some fun with this. Benicio del Toro playing a pretty different character than he usually plays. This is when Alicia Silverstone got jobs. Not that bad of a film. Recoil. Remember this being a decent flick? I think at one point, like, the writer or someone with the production wanted me to review this film. Like, they left a comment, and I'm like, I'll get to it. I never did. That probably, if that person ever watches this, feel free to let me know, and I will do it, but he probably disappeared, probably pissed. I sincerely forgot. It's not on purpose. Some Wesley Snipes stuff. Not all of them, but some of them. You have Unstoppable. Very forgettable film from what I remember. The Art of War. Decent flick. The Art of War 2. Why? I know there's a third one, but Wesley Snipes isn't in it. The Blade films. I reviewed these. The first two are the only good ones. And my favorite is Blade 2. The Fan. Decent Tony Scott film. Not a favorite of mine, but, you know, decent flick. Good acting performances. Drop Zone. I know this is brand new, but I have seen this film. I think I picked this up because, or did someone send this to me? I can't remember now. I have seen the film in the past. I remember being, and yeah, I don't remember if someone sent this to me or if I got this. I cannot remember for the life of me. But it's brand new, so there you go. But I remember being like, it wanted to be like Speed and those adrenaline movies, but like a time waster. I would say a time waster. Definitely one of John Badham's lesser films. I mean, this guy did Short Circuit, The Hard Way, Stakeout, a lot of others. Rising Sun, Rising Shit. These two could not save this movie. This movie was fairly boring flick. Really boring flick, to be honest. Was not much a fan of that one. Boiling Point, this is false advertising because it may seem like Wesley Snipes' version of Dirty Harry, but it feels like he's barely in the film and it's more Dennis Hopper's film. 4-pack, which I have Eraser and The Last Boy Scout on Blu-ray, so I keep the Point of No Return I didn't care for, so I keep this for Passenger 57, which is a film that grew on me, and overall I do like it. It does feel a bit short, but I do like the film. Money Train, I reviewed this film on the channel. I think this is underrated. I don't think it's as bad as the reputation says it is. One Man Can Jump. This is actually a gift someone sent me for Blu-ray because I love this film. One of my favorite basketball movies. I think it's a very entertaining comedy. The chemistry with these are on point. And this is the DVD I had. or still have. I remember seeing this on VHS as well quite a few times. The Deadnator. I don't even remember this fucking film. I don't remember that film at fucking all. And you have The Contractor. And you have The Marksman. I don't remember a damn thing about these movies. 7 Seconds, which is how long I remembered this. After that, it was gone. You notice how a lot of these Wesley Snipes is trying to look like Blade with his glasses? Game of Death, which has nothing to do with the Bruce Lee movie. I remember this having a really shitty fight between him and... was it Gary Daniels? Yeah. Like a really forgettable, lame fight with him and Gary Daniels. And then it has Zoe Bell, but didn't really do much. And one of my favorite ones, Murder 1600. Fun movie. Underrated flick. You know, it is a good thriller. Another fun movie, Major League, which Wesley Snipes is in this. I don't know why he's not on the cover, but he is in this movie. And then the sequel, they recast him with Omar Epps. But probably one. I'm not a big fan of baseball, but you know, I do enjoy this quite a bit. I thought the sequel sucked, and the third one I don't remember a damn thing about other than Scott Bakula's in it. But the first one's really good. Now these, I did a video of my thoughts on this show, so you can feel free to watch that. So I have watched these. I think sometime this year it was. But Hercules Legendary Journeys, I did have a review of the show on the channel. But your season 1. Season 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. It was really cool revisiting the show after so long, and made me remember how much I liked it. Didn't really grow up much with Xena, but grew up a lot with Hercules. And this is, I mentioned this before, this is Sliders Season 1 and 2. I showed the third one over there. Interesting way, but this is a pain in the ass way they package this, because trying to get them back in, it's really annoying. So aesthetically it's interesting, but in actually doing it, it's a pain in the ass. This is why most companies don't do it this way. Plus it's an easy way to scratch the discs. And this is the other Reno 911, Season 1. We got 2. Again, the first 4 or 5 seasons I do enjoy this show quite a bit. And I do have the movie, and that's Season 4. See, it must have been Season 6 when it really shit the bed. But the first 5 seasons I do enjoy quite a bit. And I do have the movie around somewhere. Oh, there's one more animated DC film, which I do enjoy. Public Enemies is the one I enjoyed. Apocalypse, not so much, but Public Enemies I did enjoy. Thought that was a fun one. I'll put over there. Okay, so now we have, other than some random stuff, let's see, Pink Floyd's The Wall. Don't think this film's on Blu-ray, and if not, I don't know why. I don't know if this film's on Blu-ray. You guys can let me know. But this is a very trippy, very weird, very crazy movie. with some really good music and interesting visuals. Pink Floyd's The Wall. Very interesting film, if you want to call it a film. Let's see. First we have some Gary Daniels stuff. Riot, which I think is his best one in my opinion. Just fast-paced, wall-to-wall action. And that is Sugar Ray Leonard co-starring with him. A lot of really nice set pieces, because it's PM Entertainment. Who knew what the hell they were doing? Another fun one, Cold Harvest. Sort of a sci-fi western action film. Well, I say western, but more post-apocalyptic. Like, it felt a little bit. That's who. Okay, someone mentioned this guy's name in a chat. That's who it is. Okay, so I guess I have seen it. Okay, that's who it is. Someone mentioned his name, Brian Janice. I'm like, who are they talking about? Oh, okay, Cold Harvest. I get what you mean. And it's Isaac Thornton. Yeah, Recoil, which I remember not minding. Rage, that was a fun one. Fist of the North Star. I would say sort of the better version of this in a way. It's I just reviewed it not that long ago. Ricky-O, the story of Ricky. But I remember it had some fun fight scenes, but I mean, I didn't love the movie. It was like there. Witness to a Kill, which I did not pay that much for this, but I honestly don't remember much about this movie. Sad to say. Blood Moon, which I remember being alright. I believe Rob Van Damme has a small role in this. The wrestler. And then Deadly Target. Byron Mann from Street Fighter is in this. Don't remember much about the movie though. Some stand-up. Ron White, which I do enjoy stand-up. Of the blue-collar comedy tour, he's really the only guy I like. They call me Tater Salad. To the point I got his other stuff, like You Can't Fake Stupid and Behavioral Problems. Actually, don't watch those sometime. And then I actually don't mind this guy, Jeff Dunham. Not everyone's cup of tea. These are some DVDRs I have of his as well. I don't think I got any of his newer ones, if he did any, but Unhinged in Hollywood, Control Chaos, Arguing with Myself, Christmas One. Yeah, I don't think I got the whatever the hell the new ones were. The rest of these are pretty much some of the slasher films I have. Getting to the end of it, folks. The Prowler, which the gore's good, the movie sucks, in my opinion. I ranted on this film, a lot of people were pissed, but sorry, the only good thing about this is the gore. The Forest and Don't Go in the Woods. Don't Go in the Woods is funny in a bad way. The Forest, I wanted to give some leniency to it, but overall it's a pretty boring flick. The Forest. I wanted to give some love to it, because I heard good things from some friends of mine, but The Tripper, interesting concept, a killer with a Ronald Reagan mask. And it's a comedy slasher directed by David Arquette. You got Jason Mewes, Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, Thomas Jane, but not that great of an execution. Student Bodies, pretty fun parody of slasher films. The Stepfather, I do like. The sequel, I don't have any of the other ones. The sequel, I think I've seen once. The third one I've never seen, and the remake I barely remember other than it being a piece of crap. I do have this film on Blu-ray, but Road Games on DVD. Love this film. Fantastic thriller. House of Wax, one of the better remakes. Highly enjoyed this one. Final Exam, one of the worst slasher films I've ever seen. Insanely boring. My Bloody Valentine, the original. I wish I could get the Blu-ray of this, but it's expensive. This needs a new collector's edition Blu-ray, because it needs to be released for people to actually buy. Also, the features, it joins it because half of the interviews is about the original and the other half is about the remake. So these features deserve a lot more. They pussied out on the features. I do like it's an uncut version. That was what was great about this release. But again, it'd be nice to see if you could clean it up a little bit more. But just have on Blu-ray with new features, new interviews, commentaries. Deserves a lot more. Winners of... I forgot I had this. Someone sent this to me a long time ago. And this is horrible. Fucking horrible. Forgot Simon West did this. I do have the original. And I do have the sequel. I think it's over there somewhere. I remember liking the original. Sequel, I don't think I have yet to see. Urban Legend, this was a very nice gift. I like the slasher film. I reviewed it on the channel. I reviewed the Blu-ray at least. And I do like the movie. I was surprised this got features. I am shocked. And it was cool to hear from, especially Michael Rosenbaum. He played Lex Luthor on Smallville, and he was an actor in this. He's really funny. So... But yeah. I did not review this one, but Urban Legend's Final Cut. I remember being okay, decent time waster. The third one was horrible. I don't have that one. I can't believe I still have this. I think it's one of those films, either someone sent it me or I got it for 50 cents, Valentine. I think I rented on this, but it got taken down for copyright, so one day I'm going to have to bitch slap this movie again. Shit. This is a good slasher film, Stage Fright, which has some really good kills and very solid direction and atmosphere in Stage Fright. Yeah, this is definitely a good one. Weird mask, but good slasher one. The Slumber Party Massacre, I remember the first one being alright. The sequel I wanted to like because it was crazy, but hey, this guy acts like Andrew Dice Clay and he's got a fucking drill guitar, but and the third one I don't remember a damn thing about. I remember there had been some decent features on this though. This is a piece of shit. I don't understand the praise this film gets. I don't understand the cult status this film gets. Yeah, this is probably like a movie. Like this cover, maybe it's the dentist's worst nightmare, but I don't understand. I've seen this film. It was so fucking tedious and boring and so unmemorable. I don't remember a damn thing about that movie, to be honest. Fucking boring. Don't understand any love for that movie. You can feel free to explain it to me. Next up, the Sleepaway Camp Survival Kit. Now, I know at one point it tried to be more of the Red Cross, but they got sued, so they had to change it to just the bloody handprint. But Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I have the others are on blue. I have on a disc, I believe. I thought it was in here. Why would I not put it in here? I thought I put it in here. Fuck, now I gotta find them. Okay, I think they're over there. I think I know where they're at. Are they over here? Yeah, I'll just put them in here then. Yeah, okay. Now, this came with a booklet, like bandages and such. Now, it is the Interbay case, but inside is the Stream Factory DVD. Now, here's the thing. Shut up. When the... How do I put it? When this box set came out, right, with these Interbay DVDs, unbeknownst to me and other people, they were the cut versions. Some stuff was cut out, and they didn't really have any features. Maybe like a commentary and that's it. So Stream Factory released these, and I got these as gifts, I believe. Yeah, I believe I got these as gifts. And it had some really good features, and when you watch the film, there was more stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, these kids, little kids have been killed, and people find the bloodied sleeping bags of them. I'm like, oh shit, that was cut out of this Anchor Bay, but put back into the Stream Factory DVD. So that was cool. I'm actually not a big fan of the first movie. I reviewed these films. I'm more a fan of these two. I would say the second one's my favorite, but I do like Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. So yeah, I'll put these along with here. And then this piece of shit, one of the worst fucking... This is god-awful, man. Just watch my rant if you want to know why. Sleepaway Camp! Sleepaway Camp! Fuck. Next up, I don't know what happened to the cases of these, but it's The Burning, which I reviewed. I do like this film. An Intruder. Don't care for the ending, but I do like the style and the gore and Scott Spiegel's direction in this. I like the location too. Really hell out fun with Intruder. God, why do I keep hitting this fucking thing? Shit. We're in the home stretch. Alone in the Dark, pretty decent slasher film from 1982 with a hell of a cast. Marlon Landau, Jack Palance, Donald Pleasance. You also have Dwight Schultz, who was Murdoch on the A-Team TV show. He's really the star of the film. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Lizzie Vernon. This, sad this never got a sequel. It's too late now, but pretty enjoyable, interesting take on a slasher movie. This is the original Black Christmas, which honestly, it's there. I didn't grow up with the film. It's there, but I don't have a big love for it like people do. Maybe that's why when the remake came out, I didn't hate it because I didn't really grow up with the first movie. It had some fun kills and gore. I'll at least give it that. So, there you go. But Candyman, I know there's a remake coming out. You don't need a remake. I do enjoy this film. The second one was there, and the third one was awful. Curtains, heard good things about this film, but was let down. It just, much ado about nothing, to be honest. And when you watch the features, you realize there was a lot of troubles behind the scenes. You kind of see why. Happy Birthday to Me, awful, stupid, Mission Impossible bullshit ending. And even the kills were not, well, other than that kill, but... You know, it's been so long, I don't even remember how that kill went, if that's actually how it was in the movie. That's how long I've seen this fucking film. I just remember the kills not being much, and the characters were really nothing, and the ending was just stupid. I know we did with some, which I liked, and then the sequel, which I thought was pretty... I thought the sequel was pretty shitty, to be honest, but... And the third one was even dumber. But the first one I did like. For what it is. I liked the first movie. Forgot there was a making of. I actually want to see that again. This is the 30th anniversary of Maniac, which is a film I do like. I think Joe Spinell does a wonderful job, acting-wise. And it has some really graphic, well-done gore. Maniac. I do like the remake as well, which I have over there. Remake of My Bloody Valentine. I don't mind this film. It's a fun slasher film. Surprised it did not get a sequel, because it was successful, but whatever. This is I think this is more a DVD-R popcorn that someone had sent to me. It was there. Yeah, I didn't hate the film. It was there, but I didn't love it. Pieces, I know a friend of mine hates this film. My friend Affrey hates the film, but I really enjoy the film. I thought it was either funny to laugh at, or it had some really good kills and crazy insanity to it. So I was entertained all the same. Definitely got some entertainment out of that. And these are the last ones. Saturday the 14th, which was awful, and for some reason this got a sequel. Fuck if I know why. See No Evil. I actually enjoyed this. This is probably the best film that WWE films have made. And I liked it. The sequel was awful, though. I think this I got just because for the Wes Craven collection, Scream 4, which I was not a fan of this movie. It just felt unneeded at the end of the day. I mean, it's cool that they didn't kill off the cast, and it's kind of refreshing. Really, the original cast are the only ones that survive, which is interesting. But like this girl here, I did not care for at all. And I don't know, just felt unneeded. I have the other Scream films, but they're in the Blu-ray over there. Shriek, if you know what you did last Friday the 13th, I think this was trying to capitalize on the success of Scary Movie. So another parody. Only this one from Trimark. I have the first one on Blu-ray over there, but these are the sequels. Prom Night 2, which I remember being alright, although I didn't care for the ending. You know, I still haven't seen these, Prom Night 3 and 4, because I was waiting to do a slasher marathon, but I never got around to doing it. Then this bullshit. The only notable thing is Idris Elba is in this as a cop, and he does not die. But other than that, just some fucking asshole in a baseball cap. Slaughterhouse, this is a film I wanted to like and tried to like back in the day and tried to fool myself into liking, but it's pretty lame. And for some reason, this has like a bunch of features. Fuck if I know why. Humongous piece of shit. I remember this being fucking dark, not knowing what the fuck was going on. 4-pack. My Best Friend is a Vampire, which I would say is the best of the 4. Slaughter High, which I had some fun with. Repossessed, which I need to give another watch. And the worst is this goddamn movie. Shut up. awful film. I have the second one on Blu-ray over there, but this is the first one, which I actually have the first one on Blu-ray over there as well. But I do like the first two Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. I reviewed all the Silent Night, Deadly Night films on the channel. The only ones I like are the first two. Even the remake I didn't care for. This film deserves a Blu-ray and it deserves a collector's edition. It should have got one years and years ago. If this is a film that like what needs to be a Blu-ray collector's edition, this is in my top 5. This richly deserves it. And it's bullshit that it hasn't got one. Just Paramount are fuckers. Madman, I like some stuff about this, some stuff I don't. I don't care for the ending, but I really like the theme song. I like the blue colors. And I like the atmosphere. I like the kills. So I would say I like this more than the Hatchet films, but this elements, but like the cast, nothing much to run home about, and I like the film all right. Just Before Dawn, really good score by Brad Fiedel, who went on to do Terminator. And some nice usage of the environment. And the cast, you got George Kennedy, Chris Lemmon, the son of Jack Lemmon, and Greg Henry, who is the mayor in Slither, and you may have seen another film. So, you know, overall, I like this film okay. Just Before Dawn. And that is it. So, thanks for watching another installment of What's in the Box. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.